Good day everyone, we are the group 1 and for today we're going to tackle the chapter 7 Women Development and the World. Before we begin to our topic, we have motivational exercises. There are many different ways to empower women and each person's empowerment journey is unique. However, there are few key activities that can help support and empower women of all ages, backgrounds, and experiences. Number 1. Join or create a women group or community. One great way to empower women is to connect with other women in your community. This could involve joining an existing group or starting your own. Women's group can provide support, networking opportunities, and a sense of community. They can be also a great place to discuss topics related to womanhood, empowerment, and feminism. Number 2. Educate yourself about women's issues. Another important way to empower women is to educate yourself about the issues that affect them. This includes learning about topics like gender equality, reproductive rights, sexual violence, and more. Number 3. Support female-owned businesses. When you spend your money at female-owned businesses, you're helping to strengthen the economy of women as a whole. These businesses often offer products and services that cater specifically to women's needs, which is something we need more of in the world today. Number 4. Speak out against gender discrimination and violence. Sadly, gender discrimination and violence are still very common problems throughout the world. But one way to fight back against these injustices is to speak out against them whenever you see them happening. Number 5. Mentor young girls and women. Mentoring is a great way to empower women of all ages by sharing your knowledge and experience with younger women. You can help them reach their full potential. The content of our report is growth and development, women and dominant economic system, gender and development, pro-women perspective and development, agriculture and values of development, how women feed the world, women in relation to development. Objectives: identify the ways women are excluded from the discourse of development. Explain how women can and should involve in definition and realization of development. Growth and development. Issues of growth and development deeply affect on how an individual structures his or her life. Measurement of development is based on a simple scheme that determines the thinking of most people who control the world's economy. Development is assessed in terms of the gross national product, GNP, and the gross domestic product, or GDP. GNP. Its value of all goods and services made by a country, residents, and businesses, regardless of production location. GDP. Measures production inside of a country, no matter who makes it. These variables shows the amount of people are paying for certain services and the amount of consumable and non-consumable products they are buying. The quest for constant growth is problematic for some reasons. The desire for constant growth drains our natural resources vital to human survival are used up. Extinction shrinks the DNA variety which develops over millions of years and may affect the chances of survival of the world's creatures, including the plants and animals that human being depends on for survival. What causing these destructions and depletions? Global warming. Global warming because Earth is getting warmer and wind patterns in the sea are changing directions such as rain is not reaching its usual destinations. Thus, underground water tables fed by rainwater are drying up. Moreover, pollution is threatening the water supply systems, making water harmful for consumption and even toxic to the animals that live there. What causing the great warming and pollution that is threatening the world's supply, water supply? Human production and consumption. Mass production is pushing current agricultural activities to use too much water from the water supplies and inducing other industries to give off waste in the environment, resulting in widespread pollution. Women and the dominant economic system. The pursuit for development is destructive to the world, threatening human existence and well-being. Environmental destruction exposes the most world's people to flooding and severe weather conditions, causing loss of homes, food and water shortages, and diseases. Western countries use the resources of their colonies to accumulate the capital that allowed them to develop their industries and support their standard of living. Even if one claims that Western development is due to their technological inventiveness, the production of his inventiveness, however, required some form of violence against nature and their colonized people. Women have particularly suffered this violence. When industrialization began to peak and cheap labor was needed to address the growing demands for workers, women were made to fill the gap. Gender and development. Women who choose to participate in the dominant system are made to accept its value. It has been the situation because the dominant system, which remains unchallenged, is mainly defined by Western male values that do not hold high regard for alternative values. Well-being based on consumption, income growth, and push for more wealth is never questioned. Well-being found in relationship, community, and fulfillment is set aside. An individual is expected to earn a living, and almost everyone will end up working in institutions that operate profit and growth.
Agricultures and the values of development. Examine the development of agriculture to see how patriarchal values define what a big business is. Today's world, food is controlled by a few large corporations that value profit over ecology. These corporations produce a variety of food from freshly packed meats and canned goods to fast foods and snacks. What is the problem with this form of production? One major problem is that it pollutes water system and destroys the soil. When fertilizer seeps into the water, it kills the life of encourages the growth of alien organisms, thus negatively affecting the nature's aquatic life. Example, monoculture, which means that many species of plant life will eventually get wiped out because they are no longer cultivated. Farmers and their habitats are being destroyed to plant the commercial corn for cereal. How women feed the world. Keepers of biodiversity. Throughout the world, in small farms in Africa and many parts of Asia, women cultivate small backyard farms, thus presenting hundreds of species. Around 18 to 120 species are farmed in small gardens that are separate from cash crop heritage. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations claims that women cultivated small farms feed more people and provide better nutrition than large monoculture farms. Women in food production. They are not supported as producers and feeders of the world. They neither had access to land nor are given rights for land use.
Women in relationship to development. Many non-governmental and multilateral agencies like an UN and World Bank understand that women empowerment and capacity building are key to realizing self-development and achieving the well-being of women. A crucial area is the exclusion of women and decision-making of governance structures, and many agencies have worked at overcoming hindrances against the participation of women in these processes. Often, when an institution like the World Bank Institute changes, it creates reform according to its own agenda, which inevitably promotes the dominant economic system. Thus, empowerment of women is only encouraged within a system that is determined by dominant agencies and only according to certain conditions. Pro-women perspective development. to see the potential, to appreciate the world multifaceted forces hindering a woman development, emancipation as practitioners of development. They will be hate work when movement towards their emancipation, study women's situations and understand their concrete possibilities and their desire regarding emancipation. This would mean engaging of holistic study and women initiatives around the world and discovering what women are doing to emancipate themselves. Women culture and development. The most important purpose of WCD is to support women initiatives that celebrate themselves without imposing ideas. Women of Amazon have organized themselves together with other rubber tree tapers to resist rubber tree destruction. However, this approach implies a tendency that women needs some form of intervention from influential agency to effect change. This approach advances women liberation by realizing the capacity of women become agents of change.
Reflection. The health and social development of families, communities, and nations all depends on women empowerment. Women can achieve their full potential when they live lives that are secure, satisfying, and productive, putting their skills to use in the workforce and having children who are happier and healthier. They are also able to help fuel sustainable economies and benefit societies and humanity at large. A key part of this empowerment is through education. Girls who are educated can pursue meaningful work and contribute to their country's economy later in life. They are four times less likely to get married young when they have 8 years of education, meaning that they and their families are healthier. Guide questions. The dominant system for growth and development is said to be patriarchal in nature. Why? How are women affected by displacement? Did women and men have different roles?